Hi, this is Nikki Woods, and we are going beyond the studio on the Tom Joyner Morning Show and BlackAmericaWeb.com with Chef Huda, who is one of our favorite chefs around here. She's a multi-talented executive chef and owner of Pretty and Delicious Culinary Company in Washington, D.C. She is an ambassador for the American Heart Association and specializes in healthy comfort food. And recently she she made history on Food Network's Cutthroat Kitchen. We'll talk about that in just a second. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
How are you? I'm blessed as always. How are you?
I am well. I am well. And also, you will be on the Fantastic Voyage yet again. So we're really, really excited about that.
Yes, absolutely. I'm excited. Always willing to support such a great cause, such a scholarship for students, and it's just an amazing cruise.
It is. It
So I'm looking
is.
forward to having fun on that.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about Cutthroat Kitchen. Now, I was reading because you're the episode that you were on that's going to actually air again on Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 Central was called Smortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
I said it like 5 times, and I was like, and then when I read, I was like, oh, okay. So explain what Smortal Kombat is about.
So Mortal Kombat, we make s'mores in the episode, so that's why they did a play on words with Mortal Kombat. But Cutthroat itself is an amazing show. I was actually a huge fan, and still am a huge fan of the show before going on it. So to be able to win and set a record on my favorite show was really exciting for me.
Yeah, you did. You said you won the highest personal earnings to date on the show.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yes. So what do you do with that? Do you go on a big shopping spree? What do you do?
Well, I'll definitely be reinvesting some of it in my brand. I'm also going to be giving some to charity because I feel giving back is very important. And I have great nonprofit organizations like American Heart Association that I work with on a regular basis. So some of that will be going to them. But I'll be reinvesting. I'm going to be relaunching ChefHuda.com, which is exciting. So we'll have more videos, more recipes, more food for everyone to view and take in. And also we will be working on my first cookbook, which is super exciting and should be coming out next year.
Oh, awesome. That is super exciting. Especially because, we're going into a new year and, you
Mm.
specialize, as I said earlier, in healthy comfort food. What does that look like to you? What does that mean? Healthy comfort food.
So I always tell people that healthy comfort food is the same food you love or the same flavors you love, just without the guilt. So it's your same comforting dishes that you love and you grew up with, but with healthier spins on it. So that way you can live a healthy lifestyle and still get all the deliciousness that you love.
So what is the number one comfort food that you've been able to take and make it into a healthier option for us?
So a healthier option, especially during the holiday season, one of the biggest ones was sweet potatoes and also mac and cheese.
Okay, can I just
Now,
tell
mac
you
and
this?
cheese.
Wait, let me
Yes.
just tell you this. All right. So I made Thanksgiving dinner, and I do it every year. And I have never, ever, ever, ever thought about doing sweet potatoes or candy yam. And my oldest son decided that he wanted to have candied yam, sweet potatoes for dinner. So we went through the recipes, and it was unbelievable the stuff you put in this to make it
It's
taste the way that it does.
Yeah, it's amazing the amount of stuff you can put in some sweet potatoes to
Okay,
make
but
them
you have a healthier option.
yummy.
Okay.
Yes. So for the sweet potatoes, what I do, because they obviously get their name because they're sweet naturally, especially if you buy the organic ones. They're even sweeter than the conventional ones. And so for me, what I do to my family is I roast them with a little agave, and then I usually put in either some nutmeg or I'll do some cinnamon or something to that effect, but just really enhancing the natural sweetness already. So people still get their loveliness that they love about the sweetness without all of the sugar and the butter and the cream, depending
And
on
the
what household
heavy
you're in.
whipping cream. I mean, it really was like
Mhm.
dessert. I mean, that's how
It 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 it,
rich it
it
was.
is. It literally is a sweet potato pie without the crust. And some people's sweet potatoes are sweeter than sweet potato pie, which is
Yeah.
a whole nother subject. And then especially if you put like say a glazed pecan on top and crush that, then you have that added sweetness and you have that added texture, which is really great.
So is for roasting, is that where you can just, kind of put them on a baking pan and you do it
Yes.
in your oven?
So for my sweet potatoes, what I do is I drizzle a little olive oil on them, um, or guave, depending on how I'm making them, and
Mhm.
then you roast them on a high temperature in your oven.
Okay.
Usually, I roast mine on 400, and you just roast them until they're cooked fully through. And it depends on how you cut them. That will correlate with the
How
amount of
long?
time you have to cook them. So if you cut them smaller, then obviously they take less time. But if you cut them bigger, they're going to take a little longer.
Right. Awesome. What is number 2? Cuz I'm still waiting for a healthy version of macaroni and cheese.
And so I like to tell people this is a healthier version. It's not
Okay.
the healthiest thing in the world, but you still get all your wonderful flavors that you love and your creaminess from your cheeses. So traditionally was known for my signature macaroni and cheese. I will admit that it had 6 cheeses in it. So,
Wow.
like most people do, it has an excessive amount of cheese in it. And you get those same great flavors using, well, let's start with the noodles. So now we have great options. Now we have great options for noodles such as whole wheat noodles. We also have gluten-free noodles for those who can't do traditional noodles. We also have rice noodles. We also have veggie noodles. And I can say for my family, I've done all of those different noodles in a mac and cheese, and no one's complained. It still disappeared. Everyone was still happy with it, and everyone still asked for it. So you can make these small changes, especially to the noodles, that allow you to add in more vitamins and nutrients. Also, with your milk and your creams, depending on which one you can use a low fat milk, and that cuts down on the fat as well. You can also switch out if you do a cheese sauce or a bechamel. You can switch out the butter for an olive oil or a healthy oil of your choice, and make your roux with that, and then make your bechamel sauce with that.
Mhm.
And then as far as the cheeses, you can do low fat cheeses, but I find if you do sharp cheeses versus your mild cheeses, you get more of that flavor that you love and you want from a cheese. So it gives it more character. And then if you go into the smoked cheese, it's a whole nother subject. So
I
you're
love
using
smoked
things that have
cheese.
better. Oh, they're so amazing.
Oh
But you're
my.
using things that have rich flavors and
Right.
great flavors and less of them versus trying to use a bunch of different cheeses and then getting just a one note flavor.
Ah, God, that's awesome. That's awesome. I've never thought about using like a different noodle, but I'm gonna try that this go
Mhm.
around. I'm gonna try a different noodle. That's awesome.
Yes,
So,
as long as it still has that, as long as the noodle still has that curvature and the hole, so that way the cheese sauce can get nice and
mm,
friendly in there and get stuck in the crevices of the noodle,
right.
and you should be good to go.
Awesome. What is one thing that you would like if we had to, leave one thing in 2014 and we did not take it into the new year as far as preparing foods in a healthier way? What is the one thing you would want people to leave behind?
Wow, that's big. um, wow. Uh, you're gonna have a lot of people mad at me. I see this is gonna happen.
That's okay,
um,
but they'll be better for it.
They will. They will. You know, I would love for people to really get into. I'm not going to say completely get rid of because I love a good crunch on a fried food when I choose to eat that. Um, but I think people should definitely be utilizing roasting more and baking more. Everything shouldn't be fried, and you can still get the crispiness that you love in certain foods by roasting them in the oven and not necessarily deep frying them. So I think that would change a lot of people's lifestyles and change a lot of different people's eating habits and help them work towards being healthier.
That's awesome. And you know what I've rediscovered this year that I'm going to do more of in 2015 is just the crock pot and like how many different dishes you can do in the crock pot or the slow cooker and get
Yes.
that same. I do the I do, and my kids love it, and I was so surprised that they took to the bean dishes and that sort of thing. I mean, it's just
Mhm.
amazing.
It is. A crock pot is a great tool in the kitchen, especially if you don't have a lot of time to cook or you like to do things like stews and roasts and even pasta dishes and soups and chilies. There's so many rice dishes. You can do so many different things in a crock pot. And if you're one of those people that can't spend a lot of time in the kitchen, it's a great option.
Awesome. So chefhuda.com, we can still go there and get a lot of great information, yes?
Absolutely. ChefHuda.com and Huda's HUDA. And I'm also on Twitter at Chef Huda and on Facebook at My Chef Huda.
And Instagram at Chef Huda as well. And then we will see in
Yes.
2015 a brand new, updated Chef Huda. So we'll check back then as well.
Yes, I'm excited about that.
All right. I will see you on the cruise.
All right, yes. We're going
Thanks.
to have some fun.
Yes, it's going to be amazing. Thanks so much, Chef Huda.